Traveling with you has been something else. But the best part is when we're charting course for the next jump. I never feel at home planet side. How about you? Well, how non-committal of you. See, the people I don't get are the ones who never go anywhere. They stay in their own hometown, they just live and die there. There's a whole galaxy full of wonder and things you could never imagine. How can they be satisfied with one tiny sliver of it? I mean, you're right, but I think everyone should at least get out once. And go someplace, meet people. Get out of your comfort zone so you can really see that the worlds are more than just little issues and bickering. There's a mess of ugly out there, but my God, there's grandeur, too. That helps you understand how this crazy place fits together. I want to be the code that finds something deep out there. Solomon got us here in a big way. I'd like to discover something that moves people. Makes them feel just a bit of what I feel when I jump systems. And not knowing what's next. Always keep them guessing. It's funny, as much as Jacob, my dad, cashes in on the family name, he's got no adventure in him. And I get it. It's dangerous, sometimes scary out there. But that's what exploration is. Going off the map and seeing if there truly be dragons. Not one drop. He's always been about making deals, keeping goods moving. Despite his many, many flaws, I think deep down, he is trying to do good for Kilo City. But if you're gonna be name-dropping Solomon all the damn time, you should act a little more like him. I couldn't ask for better company. Like this is what the UC is really all about.
Careful near the railings on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. Octai Bayar. He's the head of our Sidonia branch. If you want to do some trading, he's the one you need to be talking to. I'm busy. And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? I'm not talking price until I know what the hell I'm buying. Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
The Trade Authority turning down contraband. Well, if that doesn't take the cake. Or not take the cake.
Oh yeah, well, I got some bad news for you, love. This location doesn't buy shit like that when UC security's sitting a stone's throw from the front door. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. Sure, go ahead. You shoot me, and the TA will have bounty hunters on your ass before you even get back to the spaceport. Listen, love, I've heard it all. Threats bounce right off, so either cough up the finder's fee or try and sell that shipment on your own. You must be new at this game, love, so I'm gonna let that one slide. In our business, nothing gets done until money is exchanged, even if that means leaving a credit on each and every rung of the ladder as you climb your way up. Well then, we have nothing left to discuss, do we, love? Be seeing you soon.
Hey, good to see you.
Only employees of Deimos Starfield's mining division are authorized. It is your civic duty to report any unauthorized mining to Sidonia Security.
For the love of God, stop!
You bring me that finder's fee? Or... You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
My faith in the seedy underbelly of the settled systems is restored.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Look, I told you everything I know. Adler's your man. So why are you still here? Between the both of us, it's amazing the Crimson Fleet keeps him on the payroll at all. I guess they need to have someone watching this toilet of a city, waiting to see what the rich folks flush. If I wasn't getting kickbacks from him, I would have cut ties a long time ago. No one moves shipments like the Crimson Fleet. Doesn't matter what type of contraband you want hauled, they'll get it done, for a price. Plus, they have the firepower to keep UC Security and SysDef off their backs. No one moves shipments like... Plus, they have the firepower to keep UC Security and SysDef off their backs. All right, let me get back to work.
Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
People always ask me what I think about mining. It rocks.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Oh yeah? Well, I don't know who the hell you are. So what makes you think I'm going to help you out? Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first. Pipe down! What the hell's the matter with you? You want to get us both thrown into lockup? Look, I don't know what that big-mouth Saoirse told you, but I keep who I run with a secret in public. And I suggest you do the same. Now, do you want my help moving your product, or not? You're a clever one, aren't you? Let's just say I have a certain influential affiliation. And leave it at that. Basically, you want that Aurora moved, I'm your guy. Yeah, well, she isn't running the show here. I am.
This whole thing's giving me the worst sort of deja vu.
If you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. What do I need to do here? Write you an instruction manual? You can do this loud, you can do this quiet. I don't care. I just want my goddamn money, and I want this guy to remember who he screwed over. Feel free to throw as many credits in my face as you want, but that isn't the point. We need to make an example out of this guy. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable-looking guy in the entire place. Ugh. What now? What? Get the hell out of here, smartass. Just because I kicked a few credits Carl's way doesn't mean I'm opening a goddamn bank. Oh, I can't believe I need to spell this out for you, but here goes. You're doing me a favor, and in return, I'm doing you a favor. There are no free rides. That's how shit works around here. The sooner you learn that, the sooner you stand to make some serious money with us.
Something I can help you with? Adler Camp. Who the heck is that? Of course I owe money. Unless you're independently wealthy. Everyone's in debt nowadays. I owe Deimos. I owe my landlord. I owe Galbank. Heck, I have a tab at Parsec Deep at Cespear. It's an endless list. So why don't you just leave me here? Let me get drunk and find someone else to bother. Okay? Yes, of course. You're right. Adler's not going to just give up now, is he? I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? Well, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now, okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
It's funny how whenever someone's there to collect the debt, everyone's as poor as a list dirt farmer.
I'm a miner for Deimos. It's not what I was hoping for out of life. But here I am. Yeah, it's a lousy company. It pays me a salary. But I depend on the profit-sharing bonuses to keep food on the table for my family. Hey, now wait a second. Just because things are tough, and I might be spending my afternoons at the Spear, it doesn't mean I don't care about my family. Adler doesn't get to judge me. No, he's just a low-life pirate who thinks he can push everyone around. Holy crap. Really? You'd do that for me? Wow. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. For everything. And don't worry. I'll never borrow anything from Adler again. I promise.
Subterranean particle
Mods get stuffy sometimes.
Be advised to secure loose articles and find
Thanks again for everything you've done.
in the event of
I'll never forget.
detonation occurs in 5. Particle detonation concluded. It is now safe to resume normal activity.
Don't want to catch yourself in the newspaper here.
Have something for me? Don't start that crap with me. I'm in no mood. Did you bring me the money Fielding owes me, or do I need to pay him a visit myself? There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Nice. Nice! You're kind of a natural at this. Leaning on deadbeats comes easy to you. I like that. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? If you haven't figured that out by now, then maybe you aren't cut out for our line of work. That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of Neva Mora. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you too. Don't spend all that cash in one place. This better be important. What the hell do you think I'm going to do with the stuff? I'm going to flip it and make a ton of money. You think Carl's booze addiction was bad? These Deimos dusties will blow their entire paycheck to get zoned. Honestly, I consider it a public service. After all, I'm charging them less than a ticket to Neon. What, is he your best buddy now? His debt's been satisfied, and an example's been made. That's all I ever really wanted. Unless he does something stupid, and mark my words, he will. He's got nothing to fear from me, or my associates. Let me give you a bit of advice. Don't blurt out crap like that. Do you want to know why? Because the walls around here have ears. And those ears belong to snitches who run to UC security. Then Adler ends up in the slam. Then, when they finally let Adler go, guess what he does next? He has to hunt down the people who are responsible for putting him in that position. And, well, let's say it all gets very, very messy. Does that answer your question? You want to know about Neva, huh? Okay, let me think. You ever heard of the galactic cannibalism phenomenon? No? See, that's when two galaxies collide, and the bigger one basically swallows the smaller one. Then the bigger one just moves on. It keeps getting bigger and angrier and roams through space looking for other galaxies to absorb. Neva Mora is 10 times worse than that. Don't mess with her. Don't give her any bullshit. Don't try and rip her off. And whatever you do, you better not betray her, or she will absolutely swallow you whole, and there won't be an atom left. Other than that, she's all right. Keep your mouth shut and your weapons hot.
Thanks. So don't answer have to run it with 300 hours until 0500 hours the next morning. Always nice to kick back at the broken spear after a long day.
Mars has always been my favorite planet. Have yourself a good one. Security around here is tough. That's a pretty serious accusation. I assume you have proof of these... Well, he's a governor. If what you say is true and you have evidence against him, he'll be charged with felonies. I assume he'd step down ahead of this and turn himself in, but if not, he'd be arrested. Then there'll be a formal trial back in New Atlantis. If convicted, he'll likely serve jail time, plus any applicable fines. I'm sure they'd have to find a new governor. It's pretty rare for something like this to happen. So this is all an educated guess. I'm going to need more than the word of a passing stranger to go on for such a serious matter. Either come back with solid evidence, or I'm going to have to ask you to drop it. Unless you want us to start investigating you instead.
Almost break time.
Captain, greetings.
Ship's good. Let's go. Orbital pattern locked. Easy.
So, big shot. I hear Adler thinks you're good enough to join our crew. To Adler? Sure. But for all I know, you're just his latest impulse buy. Still, I'm feeling generous. So I'm gonna give you a chance to prove you're not a total waste of cabin air. We'll see. When the waters get deep, it's sink or swim. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the Ragana, jumping into Enceladus's orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead. Kill Rake? That's your only option? If you want my advice, there's only one way to guarantee he dies. Turn the Ragana into space junk. Only way to be sure. There's a lesson in this. I need you to learn what'll happen if you decide to turn your back on the fleet. Consider it your glimpse into a possible, unfortunate future. So you'd better pay close attention. This job isn't about the loot, but I suppose every dog needs its scraps. Keep whatever worthless junk is on that ship. Just remember, the only thing that matters is that Rake dies. It's done when Rake stops breathing. Head back here when you're finished. And don't keep me waiting for long. Rake used to run with the fleet. Hell, I'm the one who vouched for him in the first place. Back then he had a different name and a different identity. He was a damn good earner, too. Brought in a ton of creds. Everything was fine until he wanted out. So he ran. And nobody, nobody runs away from the fleet. I've been tracking Rick for months. He's making it tough, not gonna lie. He changes his location and identity so often, it's costing me a small fortune just to keep tabs. But you know what? It's worth every damn cred. He's made me look like a fool in front of Delgado, and I'm gonna have his head on a pike.
Pilot of the Ragana. We are a simple transport ship heading to New Homestead. We do not want any trouble. All right. And what are your intentions with these crewmen? safer for us that way. All right, you can dock. We will talk then.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint. Lay it on me.
Hello.
Yes. Ever since we talked about the Battle of Cassiopeia, I can't get what happened out of my mind. Was it that obvious? I thought I could handle these memories, but until I return to Cassiopeia, I'll never be able to put this to rest. The last time I saw my crew, their escape shuttle was headed for the planet's surface. I need to find the wreckage to ensure their memories are honored. I would like that. Actually, I need that. One problem, though. Pinpointing the crew's shuttle wreckage is going to be like trying to find a grain of salt in a sandbox. I think we need to start by locating my old campsite on Cassiopeia 1. The Dauntless took heavy fire to the docking section during the battle. We had 3 shuttles. One was destroyed, and the other 2 were damaged. There was no other way off the ship. Shortly after I evacuated, I saw the ship come apart. The UC listed it as lost, so I assume the Dauntless was completely destroyed. What's there to tell? I survived. My crew didn't. Still, I'll never forget my finger hovering over that launch button. Would I launch safely or explode into a fireball? It turned out that my shuttle had just enough power to allow an emergency landing on the planet's surface. I wouldn't call what I did a soft landing, but thank you all the same. Don't worry, it's not as though I'm coming apart at the seams. It's the conversations we've been having. They dredged up these old memories and they're a burden. It has a breathable atmosphere, indigenous fauna, and maybe a few abandoned mining outposts. Otherwise, it's not populated. My shuttle should have the telemetry tracking data for the other shuttle aboard. It should give us an idea where it went down. That's if scavengers haven't completely stripped my ship for parts. Hold on. I don't know the exact location of my survival campsite. For that, we are going to have to head to Mast and see if we can get the information from my old friend, Admiral Logan. Your instincts are right on target. Logan and I butted heads more than once during my time with the Navigator Corps. We've never seen eye to eye. Look, I hope this isn't asking too much. Last thing I want to do is drag you into some kind of personal crusade. That's why I need you by my side. Truth is, I'm scared. When I set foot on Cassiopeia, I don't know if I'll be able to handle what I find. If I begin to fall apart, I need someone I can trust to keep me in check. Besides bad memories, I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it. Not yet. I know you will. You've always been there when I've needed your help. Why you continue to support me, I'll never understand. I don't know what to say. I've been so busy searching the stars for answers. I've overlooked what's been in front of me all this time. True love. Something I've seriously considered sharing with you for a long time. I'm just not ready. Not yet. Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right. Hey, anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. I know you have a lot to do. I really appreciate your offer to visit Cassiopeia. Hopefully, it'll bring me the closure that I've needed for far too long.
How are you, Dusty?
Excusez-moi.
You need something? Once you're done with your other business, I'd love to. Just not right now. I'm up for a little adventure.
I am not sure what to make of you being here. If you wanted to kill us, you could have done that from your ship. If you wanted our cargo, we could have jettisoned it. I guess I should just stop talking and let you say your piece.
That is true. Which means you don't want somebody to know what you are really up to. Now, do you mind telling us what this is all about? I will not murder a man in cold blood. You will have to kill us all first. You really do not know which one of us is Rake, do you? And you do not seem to care either, which makes me think you really want to save him. Okay, I have idea. We can strike his name from Manifest, make it so he was never on board. Then, when we dock, we will leave him on this ship and deliver him to another port. That is fair. We do not want any part of the fleet. Is that all right with you, Austin?
Do I have a choice?
It does not appear you do. Well then, it is agreed. You go back to your ship and we will make sure Rake was never on ours. And in case any of your handlers get suspicious, here. We had an extra crate of supplies loaded, in case one got damaged. This should be proof you were not here to bargain.
I thought we would... Thank you for letting us go.
We will make sure Rake's name is taken off the manifest. And I hope you do not take this the wrong way, but... I hope our paths never cross again.
This unpleasantness aside, the people of...
We will make sure Rake... And I hope you do not...
Thank you for letting us go. I thought we were dead. I can't believe it.
So now what? They're gonna put me in a cis-def prison? I'm not saying it's worse than death, but it's pretty damn close.
This unpleasantness aside, the people of New Homestead will be grateful for these supplies.
I thought we were dead. I can't believe it.
Was your target. I didn't sign on to this voyage to take part in mass murder.
So you're the fleet's new dog, huh?
Thank you for letting us go.
Thank you for letting us go.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Do you need something?
Do you need me for something?
Alex is too late to be stuck in this.
Locks, air pressure, drive, all good to go, Captain.
control, but it definitely went faster after you jumped into the fight. Now tell me about the Ragana. Give me some good news, then we can go celebrate. Mercenaries. Guns for hire that shoot their own parents if they were paid enough. I'll tell you, we do a hell of a lot of dirty work in the Crimson Fleet, but we'd never sell away our souls like an ecliptic merc does. You know what? I have no idea, and it's frustrating the hell out of me. I suppose I could have pissed off someone I screwed over in the past, but there's been so many, I've lost count. Huh. No kidding. That'll make Delgado happy, seeing as our hands are clean. I would have preferred if you hadn't left witnesses behind, but at least you got the job done. Anyway, you wanted into the Crimson Fleet? Well, you're in. Yep, it's that simple. Hope this business with Rakes taught you something. Because I'm about to stick my neck out and vouch for you. If you screw up, and I wind up looking like an asshole, I'm gonna send someone after you. We clear? better stow that crap before you make me change my mind. And now that you know the deal, it's time to see what you signed up for. I'm gonna upload the coordinates for our headquarters in the Crick system. Spacers call it the key, the fleet calls it home. Head out there as soon as you can. Don't keep me waiting long.
Back, Agent. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be...
Cycle the airlock and move.
A vessel like this certainly brings back memories.
Hello. I had a friend on Regana. I hope I'll be able to see him next time we're on shore leave.
Killed a buddy of mine. This is more than a job for me.
You have permission to speak freely. We got the message from the Regana about Austin Rick. We had him dropped off at a separate port, off the books. Suffice to say, he's got a lot to answer for. That's something we're looking into, but it doesn't seem like he knows much. He might be better served as bait. For now, we'll keep him in the brig. Perhaps you could pay him a visit there sometime? I'm sure he'd be pleased to see you. That's a smart line to follow. Part of this role you're playing means having to make hard choices. Just remember not to lose yourself in the part.
I'll do my part to make certain that doesn't happen, Commander.
Oh, one more thing before we move on. For transparency's sake, you should know we were the ones that hired Ecliptic to attack Neva's ship. There was concern after what happened with the Regana that you might have trouble earning Neva's trust. Coming to her rescue ensured that would not be a problem. They are mercenaries for hire. If they are paid enough money, Ecliptic would attack the Vigilance. It wasn't terribly difficult to convince them to attack an isolated Crimson Fleet ship. Just expensive. Ah, so I take it you have good news. Were you able to join the fleet? Then it worked. You're in. Sounds like everything is going as expected. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Neva Mora.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet. The woman has a record that could stretch across Sol and back. She started young as one of Neon's street rats, and worked her way up to second in command. She's a force to be reckoned with, so don't underestimate her. Yes, you passed your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda? The Vigilance is equipped with one of the most advanced intelligence suites in the UC fleet. Nothing slips through. You can rest assured, if the Crimson Fleet had any access to our whereabouts or have infiltrated our security, we'd know. As long as you're here, your identity is safe. Excellent. If you're heading to the Key, I assume you'll be meeting Delgado soon.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
Agreed. The last thing we need is to infiltrate the fleet, only to be kicked out because we've underestimated one of their people.
I don't disagree, but it's important to know your enemy, and the best way to defeat them. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the Key. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the information to the crew. I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed. We've been trying for years to get someone on the inside, and now we have it. Extremely critical. It's unfortunate the Regana caught itself in the crossfire of Neva Mora's personal vendetta. Fortunately, your actions allowed the Regana to reach New Homestead with its cargo intact. They're a menace to civilized society. They attack supply ships, terrorize systems, and kill innocents all under a banner of greed. But it's not just that. I strongly believe that the UC has a duty to destroy the Crimson Fleet. After all, it was our fault that the Crimson Fleet was unleashed upon the settled systems in the first place. I'm not at liberty to explain the origin of the Crimson Fleet right now, but suffice to say, it's a massive embarrassment to the UC. All I can tell you is that the key and the planet that it's orbiting once belonged to the United Colonies, and they were lost to those pirates. The Crimson Fleet is a product of our negligence, and I aim to rectify that mistake. I've asked my superiors the same thing, but the Council is resistant to the notion that the Crimson Fleet is a serious threat. They perceive the pirates as simple opportunists and thieves, willing to betray each other the moment a better offer arrives. In actuality, I believe the fleet is a massive threat, one that's growing more and more organized as the years pass. Our directive is simple. We are tasked with the eradication of space piracy in the settled systems. As the chief source of pirate activity, the Crimson Fleet is our primary target. Best of luck. Headed into a snake pit. Be sure to watch your step.
2 reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight. That's right. It's something we've requested a while ago, in preparation for a future conflict with the fleet. Once we finalize everything and run a few tests, we'll have the defenses needed for a jump to the Crick system when the time comes. Sure, we have a database of profiles you can read, which should help you ingratiate yourself with the group. However, the profiles are a guide, not gospel. Use what you can, fill in the blanks, and play off that. I imagine when you're done, you'll be able to generate far more accurate profiles than what we have in our system. The system was originally called Alpha Ophiuchi, until a flag was planted there by Jasper Crix, the founder of the Crimson Fleet. Since it was crucial that space travelers avoided that system, navigators marked it as Crix on star maps as a warning. They could have just as easily labeled it Crimson Fleet, so I'm guessing the pirates themselves were responsible for spreading their leader's name. Over the years, people forgot the system's original designation and started calling it the Crick system. It's been that way ever since. Good luck on the key.
This is just the beginning. Report back when you're done. Be careful. Thank you. I wasn't sure what you were planning to do with them, or if you still needed them for your cover. We'll make sure they get transported to their original destination. Stay vigilant.
First mission in the books and no casualties.
I'm so happy you joined SysDev. All the new kid energy went straight from me to you. Well, Mr. Dutt, your diagnostics check out some of that.
SysDef Marines are the best of the best.
Hello?
We got a wager going over whether the fleet will let you in. It's a zombie.
Sage in your ship?
I owe the ops team lunch. Yes, sir. Needed to
Lost
clear
a
some
bet to
bad
one of the officers.
rotten luck.
I've got mob duty on my birthday. Well, you need to clear that through the proper channels. The last thing I need is Lieutenant Toft giving me an Alpha Centauri because he started a fire on this ship.
Yes? What?
Lieutenant Toft is as organized as they come. You can be sure she'll keep our T's crossed and guns loaded.
I woke up in the middle of the night once and found Ensign Betty taking this machine.
We'll keep the brig ready for any pirates you bring in. No, the prisoner surrendered willingly, as per the terms of your deal. This is probably the safest place for him, if the fleet want him dead. You can chat with him, if you haven't already. I'm sure he has a lot to say. As a matter of fact, I have a favor to ask. I understand that part of your undercover work involves going to the fleet headquarters, namely, the key. While you're there, if you find anything pertaining to the history of the fleet, I'd be interested in learning about it. I apologize, but no one from our side has been to the key in ages. The history buff in me wants to learn more. I appreciate it. I've actually heard rumors about there being audio logs for an interview the founder of the fleet, Jasper Crix, did on the key. I'm interested in anything he had to say regarding his time in prison and how the prisoners were treated. If you find anything like that, bring it back here, and we'll take a listen. The fleet and the UC are intertwined, and I've always felt knowing that past is an important part of what we do. In life, history can be a guide, a warning, or at times, a reflection. And if you want to know which one it is, you have to stare it in the face, regardless of how ugly it is. Keep the floors and your nose clean and you can stay as long as you like.
I guess you think I have some sad story to tell? That I met some sick orphans on New Homestead and grew a conscience? Or maybe you're the cynical type, and you think I turned a new leaf because I wanted SysDef to go easy on me. The truth is a bit more complicated than that. Sure, I got time. You see, at my age, you know who you are. And I've always been a thief. I'd swipe a cred stick for my own mother if it had enough zeros on it. But even in a group of cred-hungry thieves, a man has to have a code. Rules. And they're as paper-thin as Delgado's skin when you joke about his arm. Even Nev is a traitor to her own ambition, and Shinya to himself. But it means nothing if the higher-ups are loyal, if you can't keep the rugs from sampling your wares. That's the part that ticked me off. In the fleet, you gotta worry about the guy sleeping next to you, and if he's gonna take a bigger piece of the pie. You gotta wake up the next morning and wonder why your slice is missing and the crumbs are stuck to his face. Well, for one, they don't have much in the way of loot, but they're still important to somebody. You can't just blow up one without it showing up on SSNN. Or UC captain getting a 10-inch stack of slates on his desk. But more importantly, do-gooders are predictable. The pirate code changes depending on who's reciting it. Honest folks, they have a habit of writing their rules down. Why did I join the Regana? Truth is, I just wanted a good night's sleep. Yeah, I've had some work done. If you got the Crimson Fleet on your back, you would too. As for the name, that was actually the hard part. You can use 100 different aliases in the system, we'll just add them to the list. Now you can pay a guy to delete the list, but nothing's ever really gone forever. Neva probably paid the same guy to hit rewind, and here we are. And put a bigger target on my back? As far as I'm concerned, the brig is the safest place I can be. The second you drag me into some private room, you're basically telling everyone here that I'm a rat.
Greetings, Captain.
Hell of a city, isn't it? There's nowhere else like it in the galaxy.
Over here.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard. Here on Vanguard business, take care now.
Captain, crossed paths with Hadrian Sinon earlier. Said you've been invaluable to her. Keep it up. Now, was there something you needed?
Sometimes it still amazes me that we managed to make it off of Earth without just up and destroying ourselves.
If you have business with my office, you'll need to make an appointment.
We're on the cutting edge of technology here. It's an exciting place to be.
I recognize that some may find our security protocols unreasonable. I am unfazed by their concerns.
I'm far too busy to talk right now. This isn't a good time to talk.
Excuse me? Radcliffe's requests are so over the top. Is she just toying with us?
My crew position. something you might be interested in.